Hey there guys, welcome back to Texas Beer Reviews, and on this episode we will be looking at Martin House's Salsa Verde. So this is their hatch chili and tomatillo ale, described as a fruit beer, I believe. So instead of course fruit, they're using hatch chili peppers, which are a pretty big deal in Texas right now. We're going through Hatch Chili Festival where I work at Central Market and a lot of the other HEBs, and where we have tons of hatch chili peppers, which is it's similar to Anaheim or a pepper, if you've ever seen those around, and they're coming mild and hot and different variety, no heat and stuff like that, but we have them fresh and then we roast them out front in these huge roasters, and really good. Anyway, so this is one that they just released around this time of the year for Hatch Chili event, and thought I'd pick it up and do a review for it since it's pretty relevant. I did have a sample at work, but haven't had my full can yet, so I'm excited to try that out. But anyway, hatch chili peppers and tomatillo ale. Tomatillos are a green tomato. If you ever had enchiladas with like the verde sauce or green sauce or whatever like that, it's made from tomatillos. So it is 7.6% alcohol by volume, and some other stats are on the website. It has an SRM of 6, so it should be relatively light, and 22 IBUs, so it shouldn't be too bitter, but we might get just a bit of hoppiness there. But the description reads as, roasted hatch chili peppers and lime infuse this limited release with a zesty kick. Also attending the fiesta are tomatillos for a subtle sweetness, lime for tartness, and cilantro to mellow it all out. A full-bodied blonde malt provides a great counterbalance for the intense russet flavor. Sounds pretty good. Sounds like enchiladas in a beer. But let's go ahead and crack it open. Bit on my keyboard there. All right, so it's got a nice kind of a hazy, dark peach, sort of light amber hue to it. It's a little bit more amber there in the video, but here it's a bit more of a kind of a dark peachier color, maybe a darker kind of mango. Poured a pretty nice big white head, but it looks pretty hazy. Not green. But go ahead and check out the aroma. So I get a lot of kind of a clean, sort of I don't want to say caramel malt, but maybe just a hint of kind of a caramel malt and some clean maltiness to it. Definitely getting the hatch peppers, kind of that vegetal but slightly sweet sort of character to it. A bit of lime too, but it's not super intense. It's a bit more subtle. Maybe the tomatillos as well, but it all blends together really well. It's kind of hard picking out some of the different things as far as like I get mostly the kind of the malt character and the hatch peppers, but I feel like the flavors or the aromas, I guess, the different ingredients blend really well together. Yeah, it smells pretty good. So smells interesting, definitely different. Let's go ahead and check it out. Cheers. All right, so definitely getting the hatch peppers. They are getting that heat on the back end too, that spiciness from the pepper. It's got just a bit of that kind of vegetal note from the peppers, but really the malt, the tomatillos, and the lime kind of sweeps in with the some sweetness and balances that out a lot. Definitely getting the tomatillos a bit more. on the flavor. I do get them on the aroma. I'm kind of seeing that more now, but definitely come out more on the flavor. Lime's not super big. It is subtle, but it kind of adds another element to the beer. I could see cilantro. I'm not like picking it out crazy, but I mean just the flavors of the hatch peppers and the tomatillos are pretty much the star here. There is some underlying malt character too, kind of a bit of a sweet, sort of light. I wouldn't say like crackery, but I wouldn't really say caramel. It's kind of a nice blend between the two for me. And then it finishes with that heat. It's a bit spicy. If you don't like spicy food, I'd probably stay away from it, but it's not overpowering in heat. It's actually got a nice kick. I do like that, but it's not gonna, there's some of the other ones out there like Habanero Sculpin, which are just a little bit too hot as far as the chili beers go. But this one's definitely got a good heat to it. On the mouthfeel, it's actually pretty creamy. Not too intense carbonation. It's a bit prickly at first, but then it's pretty full-bodied actually, which I do like about it. And then of course, like I said, the kind of the feel, you get that heat a lot back. Don't really get any bitterness per se. I'm sure it's there to kind of balance out the sweetness of the tomatillos and the lime. I mean, they say tartness. I can't really say I'm getting any tartness or acidity from it. And maybe it's just the balance of the beer. If it didn't have that, maybe it would be sweeter than it is. I'm getting a little bit more of a sweeter lime than I guess a more acidic lime. Sometimes that happens with different beers, that use lime in them. But overall, I think that this is definitely one of the best hatch beers that I've had. There's not a whole lot, but here in Texas, there's a few other companies that do them, and I think this one's probably my favorite. And as far as chili beers go, besides some of the stouts that do it, I think this is one of the better chili beers, like more of a blonde chili beer that I've had. So if you want something a bit unique, you want to kind of jump into the whole event here with Hatch Chilies and want to get something festive, something a little spicy, something different, and you like you like tomatillos, you like enchiladas, you like Mexican food like that, I would definitely check this beer out. It's a pretty cool beer, definitely one worth trying. It does have that heat to it, so if you don't like spicy food, I'd probably stay away from it. But that's pretty much what I think about Martin House's Salsa Verde. Just to mention again, Martin House have done a few of their beers now, but they're up out of the Fort Worth area. And I do enjoy a lot of their beers. They do some pretty cool stuff. Anyway, that said, think global, drink local, and cheers.